Hello guys, it is that Panda. I'm here again with another video, and today we're going to be looking at the troops and their respective troop types and why I think one troop type might be better than others for different reasons. And I'm going to start off and just say it right off the bat that I think that overall infantry offers me more, and I think that if I had to choose between the three troop types, I would choose infantry. And there will be multiple reasons, and obviously there are other aspects you got to consider on why other troops might be better than infantry in some areas, but overall I feel like infantry offers me more. And I'll kind of go over all the pros to infantry and where the other troop types kind of come in. So I'll start with infantry. To start off, I do want to note that they aren't like the best attacking troop. Obviously, I feel like range or riders would be more suited for being a sieging unit, but I do think that infantry overall is still not bad. It's not like you can't use them to siege, and that's one thing you got to consider, right? It's not like they're useless. Obviously, I think that they fall off in comparison, but they're not bad. You also got to consider these are like the ultimate defensive unit. Not only are their HP just higher than the other units, they're also just a really good defensive unit, being tankier, being more suited for defense. So if you're having to defend towers, if you're having to defend metro, all that kind of stuff, they're more suited for that kind of stuff. And you also get set up earlier game with just really good heroes that kind of suit you to be either just more defensive or being more infantry focused, and that kind of sets you up early game to actually set on that path. And I also do want to note that I personally feel when it comes to attacking versus defense, I always have this opinion where I think that overall defense is more optimal, and I think that if I think it's better to be able to defend than being able to attack, right? Because then what if you are only good at attacking but you find an enemy that you can't overcome, that you can't siege on? It's better to be able to turtle down if you really are forced into these type of situations. And like I said, it's not like infantry is completely useless as a siege unit. If you only have infantry T6, I don't think it's bad to run infantry rallies if you really need to. I think compared to maybe range or something, they're obviously a lot slower at dropping something, at doing more damage in a shorter amount of time, but they can still manage. Overall, I think they're still good. They're still usable in the field, and like I said, you get set up more with infantry units earlier game, such as like Tom and Raygro. And I do want to note, like 1v1 situation, for example, if you have a healer type unit, and you have a lot of healer units like Tom or like Peterson. If you're 1v1ing someone, and obviously you're not going to solely focus on infantry just so you can be a god of 1v1s, but overall infantry is going to trade better. That heal effect and stuff, and these heroes are obviously more compatible with infantry. They melt a lot slower, and when you consider the whole heal effect, that's just really good. And overall, I think that infantry is just more, they just have more good areas. I think that's kind of self-explanatory. That being said, I will say that you also got to know why I want to say this. They're good for like free to play to low spenders as well, especially for this reason. So if you're in the field, generally you're going to target someone that has a range march or a rider march. You're going to focus those first because those are the highest damage dealing units, but they also have they have really low HP in comparison to infantry, right? You want to melt these things faster. They're the easier unit to kill, as well as the most damage inflicting unit, meaning that you're getting rid of really vital units which could deal you a lot of damage. So overall, if you're using infantry, you're going to be melting less, you're not going to be targeted as much on the field. And let's say you're tier 4 versus tier 6. I will say I don't recommend being tier 4 trying to fight a tier 6 player, but if you're doing that, if you're attacking even from the side, tier 6 has some insane counter damage and stuff, and if you're melting too fast, just the damage impacts that you're getting off aren't going to be as much. And in some situations, infantry just might be more suitable for the field, and this is why you see a lot of whales maybe running 3 or even 4 infantry marches. I will say personally, I run 2 range marches, 1 rider march, and 2 infantry marches. I do try to avoid aggroing too much, not trying to get swarmed down by the whales, but you will notice that my marches of range and riders, they fill the hospital way more because they're just focused a lot more. They also just overall melt a lot more in the field, even if they're doing more damage. So I mean, there's obviously aspects that they fall off in, and there's aspects they succeed in. I mean, like range, for example, it's probably the better rally unit. You know, if I send a rally, I prefer to send range over infantry as long as I can manage a rally, right? And you also got to consider this. If you think that your alliance or something can't fill the rally, if they can't keep it full, if they can't control the field because, you know, these are lower HP units, you don't want this thing getting swarmed. If you can't do all that, it would be more suitable to actually send an infantry rally. This is one thing, right? And range, although it does more damage in a shorter amount of time, and this can be really good on like a tower or something in making this pop as soon as possible, you gotta also consider that it's just going to be melting a lot faster. It's going to be dropping a lot more troops. And if you aren't able to just self-sustain it, you know, it's not really going to be that good. And you're really going to have to just drop these rallies. So, I mean, range does have a lot of really good aspects. And I will also note something in the past that I saw. Like, I saw an infantry rally that ran for 3 hours, right? It had the same results, or had close to the same results, as a range rally that ran for 1 hour, you know? And that's just to show the damage these things can put out is insane in a lot less time. And overall, they're just more lethal, you know? And I don't know, I like range, you know, I like running the rallies and stuff, but if you don't think you can manage like keeping them full and all that, and even controlling the field, like I said, it's just harder. You also got to consider on the field, they're targeted a lot more. And, you know, I don't personally mind it. I still think that they're going to be putting out enough damage for me to get off good. And I also gotta, you know, micromanage a lot more in the field with range or even rider units, where I'm trying to pull them back a lot more when they're getting focused. And it's kind of the same in rider aspect. I do think that they fall off in comparison to range when it comes to sieging. I don't think that they're bad. They're probably still better than infantry units, like maybe damage wise in a shorter amount of time. But I still think that range actually outdoes them. You know, I think the biggest aspect for riders might just be the travel speed. You know, them being faster. And I don't know, man. I honestly prefer like infantry than range than riders. I can see some people preferring riders over both of those, or even preferring them over, you know, range. Overall, I just wanted to give my opinion. I do think that infantry overall is the better alpha unit out here, and I gave my reasons for that. So I do hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys can understand where I'm coming from. You guys tell me your opinions in the comments, though. Your opinions in the comment section, though. And yeah, I do appreciate you guys as always for watching. I hope my opinion gave you guys a little lesson. And yeah, that's it to the video. You guys have a good day or night though, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.